Well, since Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is coming out, I'm going to be reviewing every Jurassic Park movie leading up to it, and today we're going to be starting with Jurassic Park, aka, for me anyways, the greatest movie ever made. No joke, for me, Jurassic Park is my favorite movie. I feel like this is the gold standard when it comes to movies. It is such a classic on many levels. It changed the game for cinema, like, forever. From an effect standpoint, from a character standpoint, everything about Jurassic Park just works. And I'm going to be explaining why I feel this way. Now, some people would say that Star Wars changed cinema more, and I probably would agree that the original Star Wars trilogy overall changed films overall. But I feel like Jurassic Park holds up more because of its clever writing and its effects. The original Star Wars trilogy is good, but the original Star Wars trilogy, even Empire Strikes Back in my opinion, do have some weaknesses. And I can't really find any with Jurassic Park. I feel like Jurassic Park holds up more than the original Star Wars trilogy. Like, for example, the visual effects. For the time, the original Star Wars trilogy's effects probably blew people's minds away, and I can imagine they did. But for me, I don't feel like the effects hold up that well. Even Empire Strikes Back, which I do want to try a review along with Return of the Jedi, even Empire Strikes Back, which I feel like is the best out of that trilogy, has a few weaknesses in the visual effects. I feel like Jurassic Park holds up way more in that aspect, because for one, it had the assistance of some really damn amazing CGI. Now, CGI had been used before in a few movies, like Terminator 2 Judgment Day with the T-1000, but Hollywood had never done anything like this in terms of visual effects, using computers to bring dinosaurs back to life, making full-fledged animals CGI. Some of that has happened before, like with the owl in the opening credits of Labyrinth, but of course that doesn't hold up well at all in my opinion. Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs still look amazing. Now, I do think there are visual effects that are even better than Jurassic Park's CGI, but this is at least, I feel like Jurassic Park is the standard. Like, visual effects should be at least as good as Jurassic Park's CGI. Even the animatronics are absolutely amazing. Like, some of the Raptor suits were actually fit in with, like real people were in the suits. Full on. It's amazing, and especially that T-Rex animatronic that was just beating the shit out of that car in the T-Rex breakout scene, which I'll talk about later. That is quite possibly the greatest animatronic I've ever seen in my life. It's so well done. It looks like a real animal, and especially in the Lost World Jurassic Park. In fact, let me talk about the T-Rex breakout scene. It is one of the greatest scenes in any movie. It's so perfectly well done. From the writing, the acting, like the fear on everyone's faces. And even like little comedic moments involving Jeff Goldblum's character Ian Malcolm. And especially the effects. The effects look their damn best in the T-Rex breakout scene. The CGI is just damn near invisible. And the sound design. Like whenever you hear that T-Rex roar, it sounds incredible. Even though T-Rex probably never sounded like that, you could imagine this creature sounding like that just by looking at it. And the sound design, it's really hard for me to put into words. The sound design is absolutely incredible in this movie. And no wonder it won 3 Oscars for sound editing, and, visual effects. Really, was anybody expecting anything else? Now, there are some people who say there's a plot hole in the T-Rex breakout scene. When the T-Rex steps out of her pen, you would assume that it was an entirely level place. But, her pen is entirely level. But later on, when the car is pushed off of the ledge, there's a big drop-off. And a lot of people are confused about that. Originally I was too, but luckily this YouTube channel named DangerVille, who actually collaborated with me for the Nerdy Movie Awards this year, thanks guys, they actually did a pretty good explanation as to how that scene probably played out. And even in a, in a theme park sense, it makes sense why this certain explanation would work. I really suggest checking that out. I'm going to put that link in the description below and check out their videos. I would suggest checking out DangerVille. They do some really great dinosaur videos, especially how, certain dinosaurs sounded, like how T-Rex really would have sounded. Wait, I probably said that wrong. Whatever. Now let's get back to the visual effects, and let's talk about the Raptors. Here's the funny thing. You don't see any CGI Raptors until this exact shot in the movie. Like, you've seen Raptors, like, really clear. They're clear as day. But those, like, until this shot in the movie where the second Raptor comes into the kitchen, every Raptor was a practical effect. All of them were animatronics or people in suits. That's amazing! I didn't even catch up on that until like a few years ago. That's how good these visual effects are. Okay, I'm going to step away from visual effects now because I've gushed about that long enough. And let me talk about what people have complained about over the years, and that's the scientific inaccuracies. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, Jurassic Park is just not scientifically accurate. Just about everything you see involving dinosaurs could never happen in real life. Like, for example, the cloning. That could never happen in real life. T-Rex actually had great vision, and it had feathers. Velociraptors were not only feathered and looked a lot more like birds, but were pretty tiny. Dilophosaurus didn't actually have a frill. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of scientific inaccuracies in Jurassic Park, but I don't really view that as a flaw against the movie. Because, for one, it's a movie, not a documentary. Even then, it's not like this movie's trying to say that there's no oxygen, even though there's clearly tons of foliage which produce oxygen, like after Earth. Ugh. So yeah, like, even then with the scientific inaccuracies, it's not like to a stupid level. It's not like it's contradicting itself at every point, whenever you look. Like, Jurassic Park's scientific inaccuracies, like, yeah, they're inaccurate. And I would suggest looking up what these dinosaurs were actually like, because I just find it fascinating. But, like I said, I don't hold that as an actual flaw against the movie, because for one, it's not a documentary, and two, it's not actually going so far to where it gets into stupid territory. But another great thing about Jurassic Park, aside from the cool dinosaur stuff, are the characters. The characters are so well realized, and the actors playing them are so good. I mean, yeah, Jeff Goldblum is amazing as Ian Malcolm. Ian Malcolm is a really funny comic relief kind of character. And fun fact, Jim Carrey was considered for the role of Ian Malcolm. Not joking. Yeah, if Jim Carrey played Ian Malcolm, that would be a very different kind of Ian Malcolm. I can already just imagine him now, just bouncing everywhere like... I don't know. I love Jim Carrey. He's awesome. I don't know if he'd be right for this role, though. And Harrison Ford was considered to play the role of Alan Grant. And speaking of Alan Grant, I actually think he's my favorite character in this movie. Alan Grant is my favorite character. Because I love the idea of this paleontologist who knows a lot about dinosaurs and has to use that knowledge of dinosaurs to survive when a bunch of dinosaurs just break out of their pens. I like that. He has the advantage. He is basically one step ahead of everyone else and knows exactly what to do, especially when he has to protect Lex and Tim, which... Let me just talk about them. Lex and Tim, I forget the actors' names. I mean, I know one of their names, but they are really good in this movie. I mean, like, some of the best child acting I've seen. I mean, maybe. I have to really think about that. Especially Ariana Richards, who plays Lex. Like, she is acting her ass off. And whenever her character is supposed to be scared, Ariana Richards does not hold back. Like, even if she has to make her face look all weird and kind of creepy looking, I don't know. Like, if it's to deliver that kind of fear, yeah, she's not afraid to go in kind of gross directions, especially when, like, you see snot coming out of her nose. Ew, that's kind of gross. But, I mean, I don't know, that's probably how that would happen in real life. But, yeah, like, the kids in this movie are really good. Even Ellie Sattler is really good in this. Like the character, I really like this character. Like, again, she's not a stupid damsel in distress. Like, even though she's not a paleontologist, she still knows her resources. She knows how to evade these kinds of creatures, and I find that to be really cool. And let me just talk about, what's his name? John Hammond, played by Richard Attenborough. I really like this character, because he's not a cliched bad guy. Hell, he's not even a bad guy in this movie. There's a scene in this movie where he's basically pouring his heart out as to why he made Jurassic Park, and you buy it. You really buy it. I mean, I certainly did. He just sells it so well because he says that he just loves to entertain people. It's his passion. Jurassic Park was never really about the money, even though clearly, if this was a success, he could get damn well rich. But his main goal with this was to entertain people, wow people with something they've never seen before, and not just be some money-hungry villain, which is apparently, from what I've heard, how he was like in the book. Like, one of my friends who actually read the book Jurassic Park, he said that that John Hammond was a cliched bad guy. That he was just a money-hungry villain. He's like, man, I don't care about people. I just want money. Which I find to be really stupid. So I'm so glad they changed that for the movie, because that could have been a total disaster. But what makes Jurassic Park hold up so well is its tangibility. Jurassic Park in this film feels like a place that could actually exist. The characters feel like they could actually exist. This movie feels so real. And that's probably why it's such a classic. Even though this film is about cloning dinosaurs and the movie has it eating people, it presents it in a way that feels legit. Like, you can actually buy into this. Something that Jurassic World kind of forgot. But I'll get to Jurassic World when I get to Jurassic World. But in any case, I love Jurassic Park. I think it is the greatest movie ever made. It is a masterpiece of science fiction and just movies in general. It changed the game of cinema forever. The characters are so well realized. And like I said, its tangibility, the fact that it feels like it could actually exist, makes Jurassic Park so timeless, and it still holds up to this day. And I'm giving Jurassic Park a 10 out of 10. Stay tuned for my next Jurassic Park review, which is gonna be for The Lost World Jurassic Park. I can't wait to talk about that one. So, what do you think of Jurassic Park? Do you love it as much as I do? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, share the video so we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page. I'm probably gonna need that. And if you want to see more, click this.